What's up, guys? Steve here with a breaking news stimulus update, as we've received word that Mitch McConnell, Nancy Pelosi, and members of Congress all want to see a stimulus package passed right now. That's right. They said they don't want to wait till 2021 next year. They want something before they go on Christmas break, and they want to tie it to the government spending bill. And that is going to be due on December 11th. So what they're saying is they want a stimulus package agreement done within the next 2 weeks. That's right. So man, there's a lot unfolding today. I'm going to get you caught up on all of the details. I'm going to be sharing with you guys the actual footage of the $908 billion stimulus package being proposed today, along with a breakdown of the allocations. In addition to that, we're going to be looking at the actual footage of Mitch McConnell responding to that stimulus package and the quotes from Mitch McConnell and Nancy Pelosi saying, "We need stimulus now." So I'm going to get you caught up on all the details, but before we dive into that, if you could do me a quick favor, if you like and appreciate these video updates, if you could just smash that like button, I would appreciate it. It helps out the channel. Like buttons, comments, and sharing these videos out to anybody who you think might need to see them. It helps out the channel. Thank you so much. And also, if you'd like to stay up to date on everything that's rolling out, be sure to smash the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell, so that way as soon as I upload these videos, you can get notified right away. And if you don't already, be sure to follow me on Instagram too, at SteveRam3. Okay, before we dive into the video footage, I want to share with you guys a photo that's going to be breaking down the allocated funds for the $908 billion stimulus package that was presented. Now, here you can see this is a screenshot of Senator Angus King holding the emergency relief framework. And as we've already heard, it's going to be state and local government funding for $160 billion. In addition to that, additional unemployment insurance for $180 billion worth of funding. Now, we've actually received word that it's going to be an FPUC benefit of $300 per week on top of unemployment benefits for 4 months, and that's going to be starting in December, going till March of 2021. Now, in the previous video, I said that I figured it was going to be backdated till September because that's what we had previously heard. However, it looks like that's not going to be on the table for this proposal. In addition to that, we're seeing $288 billion for small businesses, community leader support $12 billion, transportation $45 billion, vaccine $16 billion, healthcare provider relief $35 billion, education it's going to be $82 billion, student loan relief $4 billion, housing assistance for rental assistance $25 billion, nutrition and agriculture $26 billion, U.S. Postal Services, childcare and broadband an additional $10 billion for each, and opioid treatment an additional $5 billion for a total of $908 billion in this stimulus package. Now let's go ahead and take a look at what the lawmakers had to say when they proposed this stimulus package.
This is a COVID emergency relief framework. We've worked in the best interest of what we believe is great for our country, is good for our states, and we can all go home knowing that we have worked diligently to make sure that the unemployed, the small businesses, the state and local funding, student loan forbearance, everything that's going to come to a halt in December because of the timing, that's not going to happen. So we're battling COVID-19 more fiercely now than we ever have before. We recognize that. It's inexcusable for us to leave town and not have an agreement that we can come together and not show that we can work the way the Senate and the way that Congress was intended to work in a bipartisan way.
We have worked very hard to put together a $908 billion framework for COVID relief. We've worked night and day throughout the Thanksgiving recess because we recognize that families all across America are struggling, that businesses are closing, that hospitals are overwhelmed. As we deal with this second wave or third wave of this pandemic, it is absolutely essential that we pass emergency relief.
I came to this with the notion that I'm hearing from Virginians, and somebody used it and I borrowed their term, that it would be stupidity on steroids if Congress left for Christmas without doing an interim package as a bridge.
Now, I happen to be a deficit hawk. I don't like borrowing money. I don't like spending money we don't have. But the time to borrow money, maybe the only time to borrow money is when there's a crisis. And this is a crisis. We want to help people at this particular time. And so we've come together and we've been very careful. This is not a $1.8 trillion stimulus bill. This is a relief measure.
Well, there you guys have it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, but I, for one, personally felt like they nailed it. I'm just like, we need to see some stimulus right away. Even if they can't come to an agreement on a comprehensive entire stimulus package, let's get out some targeted provisions to help out the 14 million people that are going to be unemployed without benefits when the PUA and PEUC expires at the end of the year. And there's tons of small businesses and people that need help right now. So let's try to get some provisions out and maybe pass some targeted stuff right now, and then we'll focus on the rest in 2021. But right now, let's at least get a little bit of help out. So I felt like they pretty much nailed it. Now, let's take a look at the video footage of Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell responding to this package. And as you'll see in the headlines, he kind of responded very vaguely. I wasn't really sure about his response, but the headlines read that he pretty much shot it down. But he did say that he wants to see more stimulus. So there is a silver lining, and we actually heard this echoed by Nancy Pelosi. But first, let's take a look at Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell's response.
On COVID relief, you alluded to the bipartisan framework that came out today. Have you had a chance to look at that? And since you're talking about the importance of the president signing something, the House would have to pass something too. So why wouldn't a bipartisan proposal that could potentially also pass in that body be a better way to go?
Yeah, we just don't have time to waste time. We have a couple of weeks left here. Obviously, it does require bipartisan support to get out of the Congress, but it requires a presidential signature. And this government is in place for sure for the next month. And I think the place to start is, are we actually making a law, or are we just making a point? And I think the way you make a law for sure is you've got a presidential signature. So we'll see how it goes forward. I think the one thing we all agree on, as I said, waiting till next year is not an answer. We need a targeted relief bill, including things that we can agree on.
So there you have Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell's response to the $908 billion stimulus bill, and it sounded like he was saying that it wasn't going to get support from the president. I'm not really sure. Let me know your thoughts. It sounded like, though, he was pretty much, rejecting it. But at the end there, he said, we pretty much all agree that we need to get stimulus done before the end of the year. So it sounds like we're going to be seeing a push for a stimulus package here within the next 2 weeks, because that's pretty much all the time we have until Congress goes on break for Christmas. Now, we're going to be taking a look at an article that shared the responses of Nancy Pelosi and Mitch McConnell regarding passing stimulus this year. Link in the description below to the article that reads, McConnell did not comment specifically on the $908 billion relief proposal unveiled earlier in the day by a bipartisan group of senators and House members. He said senators are working really hard to finish up the omnibus bill. Given the challenges of moving things across the Senate floor speedily, that will be a vehicle to add on whatever pandemic relief bill we know will get a presidential signature. McConnell said it's unacceptable to wait until 2021 to pass a federal relief bill to respond to the surging pandemic infections around the country. I think the one thing we all agree on, as I've said, is waiting for the next year is not an answer. We need a targeted relief bill, including things we all can agree on, he said. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, in a statement Tuesday afternoon, said additional pandemic relief is long overdue and must be passed in the lame duck session, aka we need to get stimulus done right now. Okay, so there is a lot going on, and I'm going to be happy to share with you guys any updates that are going to be rolling out here. It looks like hopefully this week and next week. So I'm going to be sure to keep you guys up to date, and I don't want to get your hopes up as this keeps getting kicked down the road, but it looks like we're hearing from both sides that they want to get something done, and now we have elections out of the way. So this should be their primary focus. It's going to be this and getting the government budget taken care of, and they're saying they want to get stimulus done alongside that. So we shall see, and I will report to you guys whatever unfolds. And once again, if you like and appreciate these video updates, if you haven't already, be sure to smash the like button. It helps out the channel. Thank you so much. And also, if you haven't already, you're not a part of the viewing community, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that way as soon as I upload the videos, you can get notified and get the latest news right away. And if you don't already, be sure to follow me on Instagram at SteveRam3, and link in the description below. When you download the Webull app using my link, you can get 4 free stocks, one of which can be valued up to $1,600. Well, you guys, I hope this reaches you well. I look forward to bringing you guys some more good news about stimulus, hopefully soon. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.